Hi there, I'm Bob Hamp,
And I am Polly Hamp.
and we are here to talk about healing on purpose. And we wanted to continue our series on mental health at home, which is really the mission and the focus of Hotbox, is a way to give you mental health skills, tools, and understanding in your home. And so today we want to talk about fear.
Yes.
So if you've watched our previous videos, we talked about anxiety and panic attacks. Obviously, sometimes these three things kind of mingle and commingle with each other. Let me make this distinction for you. Anxiety is a chronic state that's ongoing. A panic attack is an escalation in that state. Fear is an emotion. And we want to just take a little bit of time to get to know fear perhaps in a different way, because I think what we said earlier is any instinct we have that we fight against, we increase.
So we end up fearing fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you've ever tried to make yourself not hungry or make yourself not tired or anything that's instinctive, then what happens is we actually pour fuel on the very thing we're trying to get rid of. So let's understand fear from perhaps a more helpful way. And first of all, understand that fear as an emotion is actually a valuable attribute of your character. We would actually say it's God-given or God-created. Fear is something that He gave us. It's not something foreign, and it's not something that came from outside of God's design or plan. Fear is actually a natural human emotion, and in fact, I like to say it this way. Fear is the human ability to attribute power to something. I'm afraid of elevators. Why? Because I attribute power to them to do harm or to somehow threaten my safety. I'm afraid of dogs. Why? Because I attribute power to them. So fear is simply the emotion by which we attribute power to something. We fear rejection because acceptance is something we've attributed power to. And so if we can understand that fear isn't something to be resisted, but rather something to be embraced and retooled, we can start to recognize that fear is not our enemy. Fear is actually our friend that may have been used wrongly in our own thinking and our own mind.
Yeah.
So let's talk for just a minute about rightly attributing power to things, because if fear is the ability to do that, what we don't want to do is just resist fear. What we want to do is figure out, so what can we be afraid of? Listen, I think it's super wise to be afraid of a swarm of bees.
Yeah. Or an aggressive dog.
Or an aggressive person.
Yes.
I think fear as a response to things that can be harmful is the most natural response to do that. But the other question is, what do we want to attribute power to? I think we would say that we want to attribute power to our spiritual source. I think we would say we want to attribute power to things like a level of acceptance, and that we want to attribute power rightly so that other things that may gain power over us lose their power because of the hierarchy. Listen, fear is an emotion, but it's not a dangerous or harmful emotion. It's an indicator on our dashboard of what we have given power to.
Yes.
So first of all, let fear speak to you. Not as in, don't let it inform you, but let it tell you what you've believed has power over you. Secondly, ask yourself, ask your own history, ask your value system, what do I want to attribute power to? And then make a choice not to fight against the fear you want out of your life, but rather to attribute power to those things which we want to have power in our lives. So fear, if anxiety is a state, panic attacks an escalation in that state. Fear is an emotion that's a healthy emotion to have, and used in a healthy way can actually give us more wisdom and power in our lives.
So, that was a really long pause.
Yeah.
We did not fear who was going to go.
No.
And so, in this time of your life right now, just be willing to recognize where fear is coming from, and are you attributing power to it, or is it something that you really need to pay attention to and go, I wonder why I'm fearing this.
Yeah.
I wonder what this is, and take some time to journal about it, to think about it, ask some people about it. And really, I just keep saying take some time to do that. But it's really important to be aware of it and know if it's part of the escalation of anxiety and then into panic attacks.
I do want to say that sometimes the things we've attributed power to are a little more subtle. If you're watching this video during a time of significant change, like the quarantine from the virus, then sometimes we've attributed power to the predictability of our day.
Yeah.
Or even the predictability of our month. And so when we attribute safety and power to being able to predict things, when things become unpredictable, fear is used in a harmful way in our soul. I talked to a friend in another country just this last week who said their lives are constantly unpredictable because of their preparedness for combat or war. And so though they're not, thrilled about what's going on, they're much more accustomed to life changing radically and suddenly. Sometimes when we've given power to the predictability of our day, week, or month, then when things change radically, we can find ourselves in that state of fear. Listen, the only thing that's been exposed in this situation isn't really that things are out of control, but rather the illusion that we thought things were in control. The sooner we can attribute power to each moment instead of the predictability of the week, then we'll find that we can still have peace even when everything around us is going crazy.
Yeah. So we're so glad you guys joined us, and be on the lookout for more videos. And if any of these are helpful, we'd love for you to share them, because there might be people out there, there are people out there who really need some help.
Yeah.
And our heart is to help people really heal on purpose. Also visit our website at starthopbox.com. And it'll also be in the links below, so you can click on that. And there's lots of resources and information that just keep getting updated. So be sure to keep looking at that. And we love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.